Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today we're going to be talking about the AS VAL PDW available for the Engineer class in Battlefield 4. It's just come out with the latest update. It kind of got leaked. It is part of the Second Assault expansion, but you can complete the assignment to get this weapon. All you have to do is spend 10 minutes in a helicopter, and unfortunately that description is misleading. You actually have to spend 10 minutes in an attack or scout helicopter. The transport helicopter for some reason doesn't really count. And then you have to get 10 squad repairs, which is actually very easy to do. You can do this in a scout helicopter, a transport helicopter. You can pop out and repair a tank. As long as the person driving that vehicle is in your squad, you will get squad repairs, and you can do it in almost one instance of repairing. So that's a very easy thing to do. This gun is really one of the easier guns in the game to unlock, which is surprising considering that this weapon has the highest damage per second out of any gun in Battlefield 4 that has been released so far. We've got guns like the FAMAS, which shoot 1,000 rounds per minute and they do 25 damage per shot. This out damages that weapon. It does 30 damage maximum per shot, which is crazy, especially for a weapon that has a built-in suppressor. You cannot remove the suppressor on this weapon, and you will never pop up on the minimap when you fire it. The downside to the AS VAL is that you have a smaller magazine, 20 rounds maximum. In Battlefield 3, you did have the option to upgrade it with extended mags and put 30 rounds in there. I don't think you're going to be able to do that in Battlefield 4, and it seems appropriate because it reminds me of the saying, a candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long. The AS VAL dishes out massive damage. In close quarters, it is a pure death machine. If you had 30 rounds, it would be without question one of the best close quarter guns in the game. In fact, right now, it probably is up for contention for one of the best close quarter guns just because of the sheer damage output. You can outgun anyone, and the only thing holding it back is the fact that it's very hard to get multiple kills with this weapon. You shoot so fast and you have such a small magazine that you're going to burn through half of it very quickly. I get double kills with one mag sometimes, but I've never gotten a triple kill. I know you can, but it's going to be very difficult to do. That's something that you can actually do with your average assault rifle in a pinch, most times, but I don't think I would be able to do this with the AS VAL reliably. Fortunately, the gun does have a very fast reload of 1.95 seconds for the short reload. If you're doing the long reload though, it is 2.9 seconds, so you've kind of got this trade-off here. If you can leave a bullet or two left over in the gun, then you're in a much better situation with the short than you are the long reload. The gun also has incredibly accurate hipfire, being a 1.0 spread, which is similar to a lot of other PDWs out there. Throw a laser sight on here and you can run around without even having to aim down sights. Now when it comes to aiming down sights, you're probably going to notice a bit more vertical recoil than you're used to with any other gun out there. It's got an incredible first shot kick, and its vertical recoil is pretty darn high anyway. This is going to make it very hard to use for longer range targets. Not only is the aiming down sight accuracy not particularly great, but the recoil is so intense that even if you put something like a vertical grip on here, an angled foregrip on here to try and reduce it, it's still going to be very hard. And I found that I was better off just not even trying to go for long range targets with this gun and trying to get in closer where the gun is going to simply outdamage anything on the field. Also, its muzzle velocity is very slow at 320 meters per second, which is what suppressors generally do to weapons, and since this gun has one equipped all the time, you're always going to have that very slow muzzle velocity, which is going to make it very hard to hit moving targets, and your bullets are going to drop a lot more than they normally would. A nice update from the Battlefield 3 variant is the fact that you can now equip a foregrip on this weapon. You'll notice when you equip a foregrip, there's kind of a funky little system up front where they attach a rail to the bottom of the suppressor somehow. It actually does look kind of cool. This allows you to make a decision on how you want to try and tame this weapon. Foregrips are one of the most important attachments to any gun, and picking the right one is a pretty important task. I've tried them all out, and I found good uses with all of them on this. You got the angled, you got the ergo grip, and you have the stubby grip. I ended up favoring the stubby the most because the thing that this weapon has the hardest time doing is engaging targets at medium to long range, and the stubby helped me control my bullet bloom a little bit. Now, if you're not good at controlling that recoil, I recommend the angled grip on there. That'll help you a lot with the first shot recoil. And if you're just all about hip fire and you put that laser sight on here, then the ergo grip is going to help you out a lot in that situation. So I recommend trying out the gun, figuring out what situation you like to use it for or how you like to run with it the most, and then picking your foregrip based on that. Now that this weapon has become available to all platforms, I think we're going to see it becoming much more popular, much more widely used, popping up on YouTube all over the place. It's one of those weapons that is very hard to get into and use right off the bat, but if you give it the time and the dedication that it takes to master it, and you learn the play style that works really well with it, which is going to be close quarters stealth gameplay, then I think you will be getting some extremely crazy kill streaks from this. I love running suppressor in Battlefield. It makes so much sense, especially in any sort of crazy chaotic infantry intensive battle. As soon as you shoot off any weapon without a suppressor, you get pinged on that mini-map. Everybody comes running at you. I've been in many situations before where you just have an endless stream of baddies heading towards you because you're not using a suppressed weapon. People are spawning near you and they just run at you, and that can be fun sometimes to try and hold off, but what's actually even more effective and easier to do is running around with a suppressed weapon, getting close to the enemies and being able to take them all out before they even realize that you're in the vicinity. That's where this gun excels as long as you play conservatively at the same time. Now, it seems kind of contradictory to be conservative and aggressive in close quarters, but because your magazine is so small, you really can't get in there and down a whole squad in one just spray and pray. You gotta take out 1-2 guys, reload. Fortunately, you got that fast reload time, and then re-engage. So stick close to corners, stick close to walls and doorways, take out your target, run for cover as you're reloading, come back and engage. And you'll see here I've kind of worked my way into the back lines on an obliteration map, not necessarily playing right on the bomb, but because I have the suppressed gun, I'm able to get in behind enemy lines and just wreak havoc without the enemy team really knowing where I am or what's going on. The only tool that they have to try and determine where I am is by listening to a suppressed weapon firing or looking for the dead markers of their teammates and figuring, how did that guy die? He's way behind us. He's behind enemy lines. But if you look here, I've just flanked behind all of them now. So I'm just in a perfect situation to actually clear the way for our bomb carrier to get in there and arm and detonate another MCOM. So all in all, I know this gun isn't going to be for everyone. I'm sure that the magazine size is going to feel very restrictive to most people, and it is hard to get used to. But I think for probably the more advanced players who can be very precise, make good use of those 20 rounds, you are going to be well rewarded when using this gun. So try it out. It's very easy to unlock. It's a lot of fun. Love the suppressor on there, the built-on suppressor, and the look of the gun. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.